AI once lived behind screens. Now it steps into the real world. Intelligence is no longer confined to the cloud. The brain is everywhere. AI now has a body, sensing, acting, transforming the world it touches. And it's binding every intelligent device into one living network. It sees, it moves, it connects. This is where the next era begins. Global visionaries, 500 startups, 23 nations of innovation. COMPUTEX 2026. We make it happen together.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our host, Mr. James Huang, Chairman of Taiwan External Trade Development Council, TAITRA, to the stage.
For 5 centuries, Michelangelo's creation of Adam has shown God given life to man, the first intelligence on earth. In the 21st century, we have created a new intelligence. The hand is ours. The intelligence reaching back is AI, born from human hands. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and friends from the international media. Welcome to Taipei. Welcome to COMPUTEX 2026. COMPUTEX convenes in a time of 2 great waves. The first is geopolitics. The post-war order is unwinding. And until a new one takes shape, uncertainty will be the norm. The second is technology. AI is not just another tool. It is the beginning of a new kind of civilization. Language, memory, initiative, society being assembled inside the very machines that fill these halls. COMPUTEX witnessed the rise of the PC, internet, mobile, and cloud, each wave making machines more powerful and more central to human life. Now, AI has evolved from tools to actors. This is why it is more than a technology story. It is a human story. The world used to come to COMPUTEX to get updated on new tech. Today, the world comes to see where humanity goes next. COMPUTEX is no longer just a tech show. It is a conduit to the new world. That is the spirit of this year's theme, AI Together. The next era will not be defined by any one country, company, or AI model. It will be built together, AI and humans together, Taiwan and the world together. Step out of this hall, and you walk into the future being built. This year is truly exceptional. The largest COMPUTEX in our history. Across AI and computing, robotics and mobility, and next-gen tech, the future is taking shape around us. In Nangang Exhibition Hall 1, Hall 2, the Taipei World Trade Center, and also at the Taipei International Convention Center, where NVIDIA will host GTC Taipei. Our CEO keynotes bring 4 global chip leaders to one stage. Qualcomm's Cristiano Amo, Marvell's Matt Murphy, Intel's Lip-Bu Tam, and NXP's Rafael Sotomayor. Together, they map the full landscape of AI computing, from edge devices to data center connectivity to the silicon powering AI's next era, all the way to physical AI moving into the real world. These four CEOs are not flying here to make announcements. They are flying here because the conversations that matter for the next decade of AI happen in this city this week. And this year, for the first time, COMPUTEX dedicates an entire pavilion to robotics. The AI and robotic drone at the Taipei World Trade Center, where leaders from Intel, E Ink, Highwing, Solomon, and Texas Instruments, and many more are showing the world what physical AI looks like when it leaves the lab and walks into the world. Right inside that same building, on the morning of June the 2nd, 4 forum sections take the stage in a row, all on physical AI, with the senior executives running robotics at NVIDIA, Qualcomm, ABB, and NXP. 4 decision makers, 1 room, 1 morning. That density does not exist anywhere else in the world. Beyond robotics, our forum gathers 26 global leaders across 28 sections. Microsoft, Google DeepMind, Siemens, Synopsys, and many more, covering the full stack of AI, from chip design to data centers to industrial development. And at Innovex, nearly 500 startups from 23 countries are showing where AI goes next in robotics, healthcare, materials, and industrial intelligence. These are not demos anymore. They are deployments waiting for scale. All of this is happening here because Taiwan plays an indispensable role in this AI revolution. COMPUTEX has turned Taiwan into the AI hub of the world. Last year, I asked, when AI is everywhere, what will the world need? This year, the question deepens. When we have given life to a new intelligence, what kind of civilization do we want to build together? Pope Leo XIV put it well. The AI challenge is not technological, but anthropological. AI may be fast and precise, but without purpose. Humanity carries memory, morality, and meaning, but it may struggle with the bottlenecks of the old world. The future must be built by both machines expanding what we can do, humanity deciding why it matters, intelligence anchored in trust, power placed in service of life. As you walk through these halls, look beyond chips and machines. Look at the beginning of a new relationship between humanity and intelligence. Look at the future we are being called to build together. Thank you, and once again, welcome to COMPUTEX 2026.
Thank you, James. Next, let us welcome our co-host, Mr. Jason Chen, Chairman of Taipei Computer Association, TCA, to the stage.
Hi, everyone, distinguished guests, the members of international media, industry leaders, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to Taipei. I'm Jason Chen. I'm the chairman of Taipei Computer Association. First, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our media friends from around the world for long-standing coverage of COMPUTEX year after year. Your reporting enables the global technology industry to identify the next important direction emerging from the event. The theme of COMPUTEX this year is AI together. This is far more than a slogan. It reflects a real transformation taking place across the global technology industry. AI is rapidly moving from an innovation showcase to a real-world deployment. From an isolated breakthrough to system integration, and from individual competition to collaboration around the global ecosystem. This year, we are proud to host more than 1,500 exhibitors across 6,000 booths, spanning Nangang Exhibition Center, the World Trade Center, and the Taipei International Convention Center. This expansion, not just about scale, it signals the global AI ecosystem is gathering in Taipei in an accelerating pace. Today, AI is no longer just a race for models or computing power. It is a competition of complete system capacity, from AI chips, servers, and PCs to high-speed connectivity, data governance, thermal management, energy efficiency, and smart application. AI is fast integrating into real-world scenarios, including manufacturing, healthcare, retail, transportation, and urban governance. The trend reflects this year's official Best Choice Award reinforced the shift, clearly demonstrating that global AI competition is moving from a race for computing power to a quest for system value. If I were summarize the core focus of COMPUTEX this year in 5 keywords, they would be computing, connectivity, storage, efficiency, and application. Dear media friends, COMPUTEX 2026 promise to be extraordinary. We sincerely invite you to explore the exhibition halls, attending forums, visit the Best Choice Award display areas, and immerse yourself in Innovex. Come experience firsthand how AI is moving from model to systems. This year, we're also extending the exhibition experience beyond the venue into the city. Tomorrow night, with Taipei 101 as the international landmark stage, 1,000 MIT drones will light up the night sky, bringing together technology and art for audience around the world through a live streaming. On June 3rd, the Innovex Night Party will bring together global startups, investors, and industry partners, making Taipei an important platform for global innovation exchange. In closing, AI together is not just our theme. It is shared direction for the entire global technology industry. Thank you once again. Welcome to Taipei, and welcome to COMPUTEX 2026. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Ladies and gentlemen, this marks the conclusion of our global press conference. We're truly grateful for your continued support and for being with us today. We will now proceed to the Qualcomm opening keynote speech. Let us once again invite Taitra Chairman James Huang to the stage to officially introduce our opening keynote speaker. Welcome, James.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we move into our keynote program, I'm pleased to welcome back a familiar face, a good friend. For the third consecutive year, Cristiano Amon has chosen COMPUTEX as the stage to share Qualcomm's vision with the world. The continuity speaks for itself. This year, everything Qualcomm has been building toward, AI at the edge, intelligent devices, the connected world, is becoming reality. There is no better person to open our keynote series. But first, please turn your attention to the screen for a special opening from Qualcomm.
We're stepping into a world where AI feels less like a tool
Good morning. Here's your daily brief.
and more like a teammate.
It's day 5 of strength training, the dreaded leg day.
Okay, let's do it.
Always ready. Always learning.
You're approaching your personal best. Push yourself.
Built to keep up with real life, not slow it down.
Nice work.
Intelligence that moves with you across the moments that make up your day. Working quietly in the background so everything else feels easier in the foreground. And when the how is handled,
Thanks.
you get more freedom to focus on the why, more flow, more creativity, more time for what you care about. This Qualcomm technology adapts to you.
Your meeting canceled, so I freed up your schedule. You mentioned needing a new shirt for the party this weekend. Want to pick one up on the way to the office?
Sounds good.
Responding to your life, your needs, on your terms. It's more than just a helping hand. It's an extra set of eyes and ears that understands the world around you,
I've prepared a few color matches with your wardrobe.
that sees what you see,
The white t-shirt would also go well with your tan jacket.
hears what you hear.
I'll take both.
Those shirts are selling well. I've drafted a social post to drive engagement and placed an additional order with the wholesaler.
Technology that meets you where you are and takes you where you need to go.
Your ride should be about 35 minutes today.
Okay,
I've summarized the latest product design feedback to review on the train.
great. Cue up that photography podcast I mentioned earlier.
Done.
A network of agents working around the clock to create a brighter future for everyone. This is intelligent computing everywhere, driven by Qualcomm innovation. Smarter, faster, more seamlessly connected. Transforming the devices you rely on into partners you trust. It's computing that never misses a moment,
Looks good.
so neither do you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, President and CEO of Qualcomm, Cristiano Amon.
Chairman Wang.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to
Very
have you
happy to
back.
be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Very, very happy to be here at COMPUTEX. This is a special time, I think, for Qualcomm, a special time for technology. And it's such an honor, I think, to be able to speak with you all here at COMPUTEX. So thank you so much for being here. As I said, I think we are Qualcomm incredibly excited about the future. There are some Qualcomm folks here in the room. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Before I start this presentation, this presentation is not about Qualcomm. It's not about Qualcomm. It's really At the end of the day, I think, evolution of technology is really a combination of companies. Not one company is never responsible for everything. It's really about partnership. So first thing, I wanted to say a big thank you to all our Taiwan partners. First, all of our suppliers, all of our development partner. A special thank you to TSMC, which has been an incredible partner on this journey. So thank you to our suppliers and our developers. And then also a big thank you to the entire ecosystem in the partnerships and many of you which are here today. Thank you so much. This is not about Qualcomm. This is all about you and an incredible ecosystem that exactly drives everything in technology with a wonderful partnership. Companies that are leaders in technology today, they are leaders because of those partnerships. So thank you very much, and thank you all for having me here speaking to you. Okay, we are incredibly excited because a lot of the things that we have been talking about is really starting to become real, and it's very easy to see. I have one job today. And by the way, I won't talk about a data center. So if you came here to hear about our data center projects, I'll tell a little bit, but we'll talk about this at the end of the month. But I have one job today. I want you to understand how AI is going to evolve for all the devices, because it's the new form of computing that is touching every single device. And if you walk out of this keynote today, understanding what's going to happen to all the devices of the edge and how much we're excited about it, I have done my job. So I'm going to do my best to tell you how this feature is going to look like. It's very clear to us. We have conviction what's going to happen, and we're going to make it very concrete for you, but it's an incredibly exciting time for all of the computing technology and all the devices that we use every day and the ones we're going to use it. So about 2 years ago, we talked about how AI will change the human-computer interface, and as a consequence, will change the architecture of all of our personal computing devices. And that is starting to become a reality in 2026. That's why we call it Qualcomm. 2026 is the year of agents. And it's now how AI is really evolving and is going to get to an incredible amount of scale. It is evolved from simply answering prompts and work as a tool that augments how we as humans work with our computers into something that can take action on their own. I'm going to give you some examples, I think, what you see today in the screen. At home, you're going to have agents. There's going to basically update everyone on your activity and your schedule, all of the things that you need to do. At work, will be with you and think about what are the projects that you need to do, what are the tasks that you need to do. It flags the decision, and it's going to be working with you. And in your personal life, will give you information that is relevant to you, all of the updates that you need, work with you on a schedule. Everything's going to be prioritized, and it's going to be a little different. It's going to feel more autonomous. It's going to feel more personal, and it's going to feel like really a companion. And all of this is going to happen proactively across all of your devices. And for that to be understood, we have to go back to a very basic element of this transition. We have been talking about this, right? Which is the phone today is at the center of your digital life. And I remember when I presented something similar like this, when we talk about it at Snapdragon Summit, I actually talk about here at COMPUTEX, that the phone is at the center of a digital life, and therefore everything is around the phone. It's how we interact with the phone, with the OS and the applications, even the other wearable devices, they are around this phone ecosystem. But now this is different. Those agents become the center of your digital experience. So including the phone and the other devices, they now are around the agent. It's not about an extension of the phone. The digital ecosystem is no longer at the phone itself and the OSs and the applications. And what happened, those devices become endpoints for agents. And agents they're not trapped, they are not attached to a single ecosystem. And everything that connects you with an agent becomes an aid point for AI. And that's a very important change. Once you understand that change, you understand how the whole mobile industry is going to change. The things that we take for granted today are going to be different tomorrow. And there's one thing I can tell you coming from Qualcomm. I've been in the company for 30 years. One thing is guaranteed, the mobile industry is not static. It changes all the time. So those endpoints for AI, I am going to talk about what is really the surface area. I'm going to remind you of what are the scale of those devices. There are about 6 billion phones today, 2 billion personal AI devices, which is the evolution of wearables, and that is actually a small number when you think about those things as an endpoint of agents. 2 billion PCs, 500 million connected cars. And people will experience and interact with those agents on these devices. And as I said in the beginning, the role of this conversation today is help you understand the role of those devices at the edge for this next phase of AI. And we at Qualcomm, we actually told you about those devices running AI before it was popular, but now it's very easy to see. So once you understand the scale, one important message that I want to deliver to you is that today's devices were not designed for those experiences. They're not. It will require a different kind of device when agentic AI becomes the number one AI function in our daily lives, especially for personal computing as we interact with those devices. All of those devices today, they have been built for actions initiated by the user, not by the agent. And I'm going to break that down for you. The agents are different. They operate it all the time. They carry context forward. They will orchestrate multiple tasks reliably and securely, but they are going to do that on your own, not necessarily with human intervention. That alone gives you a glimpse how these devices are going to change and how the architecture of those devices are going to change. And when you think about that, the agent acts on intent. As you have now AI taking a role in the man-machine interface, you understand human intentions, will proactively understand the text that it needs to interact with the human, will take a goal, will break it into several steps, will coordinate across systems, across data sets, your own data set that lives on the device, the data set that is unique to you on your personal graph, and the data set that's going to be in the cloud. It plans, it executes, you verify, you will keep interacting it until the task is done. And that, by definition, changes the hardware with different kind of hardware to be able to do this, because it's not just what is initiated by the user. The agent is going to be running on its own. It's also changed the operating system and changing the application. And I think that's the incredible opportunity that we have in computing across this entire surface area of devices, which are going to be upgraded for this age of AI. You need to be able to tight integrate across all the compute domains. You have strict power and latency constraint. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of power. Think about your phone. If it is challenging to make your phone last all day with you operating it, what happens when you and the agent is operating it? That's an incredible engineering challenge from power and latency. Those devices needs to be able to support planning, reasoning, coordination across the system. And for that, you can start to understand how the compute is going to evolve. You need a very strong and power efficient CPU for the orchestration of tasks. I think the industry now understands the importance of CPU for orchestration and where the orchestrator is going to run. You need very power efficient and high compute density of NPU and GPU to be able to run local models. One other thing that I'm going to do today is to show clearly how AI is going to be distributed across cloud and device. I almost feel that it's going to be so obvious that we're going to start talking about it. We're going to stop talking about cloud and edge because it's all going to be one system. And for that, you're going to need the computing power and those devices to do that on the NPU and in the GPU. You need to have sensor data. Context is super important. Without context, you cannot have the agent to be useful and for you to be useful and be proactive. All of those things are going to be necessary as we think the next generation of devices for the agentic AI and an upgrade is truly coming. So, and it's not the same thing for every device. It is not. We know this at Qualcomm. In personal devices, that means all-day intelligence, very focused on sensors and context that matter to you, incredibly power efficient because you're going to carry, you are mobile by definition, you're going to carry it with you, you need to have high-speed connectivity. In cars and robots, that means sustaining processing power on the most demanding condition and also independent of connectivity and cloud when you have to. And in the data center, inference will require incredible amount of scale, and I'll walk you through it when we think about the demand for tokens. And power efficiency is also going to matter there. I'm going to tell you something. For companies that have the benefit of being working in the mobile industry for decades, you had a different growth rate of computing power and availability of energy. So you have to come up with solutions that allow you to get all the computing power that you need with the available energy, because the battery has to last all day and is limited in its size. That's also going to be true when you think about what's going to happen on the data center, but we'll tell you more about that at the end of the month. And that in itself is the Qualcomm advantage, because we have been working with all of those devices at the edge, all of it. And especially the new Qualcomm that had incredibly diversified, we now have ability to build systems. They're sub 2 milliwatts from an earbud with micro-power Wi-Fi that connect to an agent for personal AI audio device, all the way to kilowatts, what's going to happen in the data center. And I think that is the incredible opportunity that we see for us and for our partners, when all of those devices are going to change for this future of agentic AI. And for that, you need dedicated computing solution that scale all the way down to a sub-milliwatt device to a 2,000 kilowatt. And that's an incredible opportunity, I think, that we have in front of us. Leading performance per watt across smartphones, PC, automotive, compute, and robots, and extending that to the data center. I think that's our mission, and that is the incredible opportunity. The last thing I'm going to tell you as we keep moving in the presentation, there is excitement about what's happening, especially on the PC side, that with all of those agentic AI. So as we go down the presentation, I will come back to this, and I will come back to the phones, because I believe that what's going to happen on the phone is going to be a very good proxy of what could happen on PC and other devices. But hold that thought. So I'm going to break this down for you across the different categories of devices. And I want to show you how those experiences are evolving. I want to make it less abstract and more concrete for you because this is happening right now. So I want to start with the devices that are really powered by Snapdragon platforms. You will see agents now being deployed and starting to get scale across phones, PC, and this new category of personal AI devices. I would like you to watch a video. Let's run the video.
I'm having friends over tonight. My smart home devices start getting ready on their own.
Quark, search for the same item.
Found the same suit for you.
Ask Claude Cowork to create a daily briefing for you. It can pull from things like your email, your calendar, your local files. A powerful CPU like a Snapdragon one just means all of this will run faster, more privately, and more efficiently.
I walk in, got presidential status. Pull up like honey, I'm home, always on automatic. Too many tricks up my sleeve, it feel like Walla magic. Got them jumping like rabbits, I make them go, go, go crazy.
I have this setup running on my laptop powered by Snapdragon because its powerful CPU lets me run multi-agent workflows in parallel.
It has a dedicated AI engine. I don't throttle in any long coding sessions.
You just tell it what to do and it does it.
Can I just get one item from box 3?
So this is incredibly exciting, and it's really already happening. And you can see the agent isn't tied to the device. It actually moves with the user and is there with the user regardless of the device that you have. So that is one way for you to start to understand this change when the center of the ecosystem, especially mobile, is no longer the smartphone. It's about the agent, and the agent's going to be across all of those devices. This is incredible, and as I said, it is easy to see now why we say that this is the year of agents. And adoption is really accelerating, and you started to see beginning to run on commercial devices. Orchestrators like OpenClaw and Hermes are now running on Snapdragon. Agentic assistants like Claude Desktop are running natively on Snapdragon PCs. And you see this thing only accelerating and how the users are going to use more and more in their machines. And the machine's going to be running on their own, doing things. And cloud platforms, for example, like Perplexity Computer, are now building orchestration layers that connect to the device. Google is bringing agentic AI directly into Android with Gemini Intelligence. Microsoft's doing the same. And partners even like Humane are developing full agentic operating system running on Snapdragon. It's truly incredible. And I'm going to use now this moment before I keep going to presentation to tell you about the point I'm going to make about phones. Because actually an important point to understand, there's 6 billion phones and how user experience is going to be defined. Those orchestrators are a significant milestone in the transition of AI to agents. And I remember, for example, when orchestrators like OpenClaw became available, a lot of consumers were buying computers. They're buying Mac Minis and other computers, and they run those agents in the computer. We're doing tasks, and you can message to the computer. But this is not unique to those early adopters. This is how computers are going to be utilized by a lot of people. If you have a phone, you don't have the ability to buy a computer, connect it to a battery, put it in a backpack and carry it with you. You're going to carry one device. And those things are going to happen in the phone. So those devices are going to have two personalities. And I'll come back to this. One personality is you're going to operate the device as a human. That's how the device of today has been designed to operate. But the agent is going to operate the device as well. And that's how devices are going to be in the future. And that's going to happen on the same device. And the same device doing both, like phone, is also going to influence how it's going to happen on PC with laptops. And those personal AI devices are going to get scale because they're very natural for agent. Glasses, for example, is close to your eyes, to your mouth, to your ears. They became very natural. And that is this incredible transition we're going to see in compute. But it's not just unique to personal computing. This is also happening as we think about the transition that we're going to have to the physical world. The physical world is one of the most exciting areas in our industry right now. Cars, robots, industrial systems are going to be also significant endpoints for agentic AI. And in those systems, you have other requirements. Latency, safety are measured in milliseconds, in millimeters. Every single watt matters. So I want to show you a demo next, and I'll walk you through it, for example, how things are going to work in a car. When you think about the car, there will be two layers of intelligence. So in the cockpit, AI will personalize your experience. And that is the same thing that we just talked about. The agent is your agent regardless of the device. When you're behind the wheel, you're going to take that experience with you, is going to interact with the agent. It doesn't matter if you're going to be on the car, on a personal AI device, on a phone, on your PC, because the agent is at the center, all the devices around it, including the car. But also the car has other tasks. Besides interacting with you, is interacting with you within the context of the car. And on the road, you also have physical AI that is perceiving, it is planning, it is acting using cameras, radar, sensors, and maps for your navigation. So that's the interesting thing. You have two different layers of intelligence. You have the interaction with you in the cockpit, which is personal to you when you are within the context of the car, but you also have the physical AI that drives the car for you. And this is designed to operate as one integrated system. Watch this video of this in action, which will understand how those systems work as one.
Can you get me the information from the back of the truck?
I've got the information you have requested. What would you like to do next?
What time do they close today?
Coastal Flowers closes at 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday and at 2 p.m. on Sundays.
What kind of flowers do they sell?
Coastal Flowers specializes in nature-inspired designs using seasonal blooms.
So this is very interesting because what you can see, the cameras of the car, the radars, and all the sensors, they're being on this layer of intelligence to drive the car. Now that's also input and context for the agent for your experience. And we're just at the beginning of this. And what we actually see within Qualcomm, this whole transition of the software-defined vehicle is now augmented when the vehicle evolving to the AI-defined vehicle. Now, I talk about personal computing, cars. I want to talk about the next big category of physical AI, which is robotics. The entire robotics industry right now is being transformed. And robotics is very interesting because it pushes the limit of computing technology and incorporate aspects of what I show you to you. Incorporate many aspects and technology of what we see in personal computing. for sensing, perception, high integration of sensors. The robot, like your glasses, will see what you see, read what you read, understand the context. At the same time, you have all of those elements of technology that comes from the automotive industry. You need precision. You need industrial grade. You need safety. You need redundancy. So that is exciting element of technology transition, which has the best of both worlds. And to succeed in robotics, you need to understand how to design this as a hierarchical compute system. First of all, you need to understand that a robot has 3 layers of computing. There's instant execution. Someone like us, you're going to pick up something and you didn't get a good grip. You don't think it, you just go again and you get it again. That's instant execution. Same thing how you keep your balance or everything that you need to do without thinking, like us. Then there's action. And then there's action and grounding. And then you have reasoning. You have to build a hierarchical compute system. You also have to distribute intelligence. It's not just about building the brain of the robot. You need to have a central compute. You have to have motion control. You have to have the ability to do actuation, things that are going to be very important, which is perception, dexterity. So actually bring the best of mobility, personal computing, what you see in some of the automotive and navigation. It is a great technology platform. What we're building is a comprehensive platform across different form factors, from AMR, industrial arms, 4-leg robots, humanoids, drones, and I actually think industrial opportunity is happening right now. You have to build hardware, you have to build software, you have to build an AI operations, ability to do fleet and data management, and everything that our partners will need to go from prototype to production. And the robot is another great example when battery life matters, when high-level integration of computing and sensors. If you want the robot to get scale and the right price points, you need to bring from consumer electronics the capabilities to do high-level integration. And that's an exciting opportunity for us and our partners as well. And when you think about it, this is actually developing very fast. Those are 2 examples. We've been working with companies like VinMotion, Neura Robotics in Stuttgart, and soon we'll share what we're doing with Figure AI as well. But beyond robotics, physical AI has an incredible opportunity in industrial. I've been saying this, industrial is not demand-bound. Is solution-bound. It's about maturity of those systems and technology. The demand is enormous. In enterprise and industrial environments, for example, vision, AI-powered cameras can monitor security, compliance, they can monitor traffic flow on a smart city, they trigger actions, autonomies, and there's many more applications. If you want to understand what's also going to happen in the enterprise, you're going to see new form factors of things that an enterprise uses every day, from helmets to safety glass to badges to everything. And the opportunity is really incredible. When you think about, for example, the computer vision, you can see, I think, the role of AI and agentic AI changing everything. Computer vision can run locally on devices. They can run on the cloud. They dynamically can access more powerful models on-prem or on the cloud when needed. They'll be able to see, understand, decide, take action, turning perception into real-time intelligence. And you can see that the applications are truly incredible. And we're just at the beginning of this. The input from vision and other sensors connected with agentic AI will fundamentally change how many of those systems and enterprises are going to operate. And we see this happening, for example, at retail, at warehousing, in general, I think, office management and building. We see this in the oil and gas industry. We see this with energy. And of course, we can see this in smart cities. This is an incredible opportunity for agentic AI. Now, you have seen agentic AI transforming personal and computing and those new classes of personal devices you see, cars, robots, industrial. But there's another layer coming to all of this that will change the equation. And I'm personally very excited about this. Is the next generation of wireless. And I am going to explain to you today why this is actually very relevant to the conversation we just had. At Mobile World Congress, we described 6G as the first generation of wireless designed for the age of AI. And 6G has three pillars. It's connectivity, it's distributed computing, and it's sensing. And distributed computing and sensing are new things that didn't exist before in the telecom sector. I'm going to break each of those pillars for you. So let me start with connectivity. My simple description to you of the connectivity change in 6G is based on what we just talked about at the beginning of this presentation. If you have smart glasses, they see what you see. So the connectivity needs to enable a very fast uplink. So I know it's going to sound interesting what I'm going to say next, but 6G is going to make all of us into walking cameras in this world, because you're going to have the ability to get high definition video that you see and be able to send that to the system into the cloud. It is designed for continuous context exchange between devices, machines, agents, car. And with an A-native air interface, the network understands and adapts the radio environment. You're going to see, I won't spend a lot of time talking about it, but you see a lot of different techniques. Autonomous networks, prediction of radio signals, so you can have high speed and weak signal conditions. Significant improvements in speed, in the density, but bottom line is ability to connect everything and enable even that use case of see what I see. That's the connectivity part. The second part is computing. And that's going to become clear when I get to the pillar number 3, which is sensing. But that is the biggest change in the infrastructure of telecommunications in wireless since the beginning of mobility. The whole network in itself is an AI network with distributing AI computing and inference at the radio base stations to the central office and the data center. The network, it's part of a very large data center. The central office looks like an on-prem data center, and then you have computing in real time at the radio base stations. And that is going to be important not only for the connectivity aspects. I just spoke about autonomous network, autonomous allocation of resources, prediction of RF signals, but it's because of sensing that you need this capability. And sensing is the biggest change in this sector. That's what's going to make the telecom sector really a completely different company. What sensing will do is we'll look at the RF signals as physical AI input for models that are being trained on their performance. What it's going to do, each one of those radio connections are going to be like a radar that you see used on a car for autonomous driving. And you're going to get hundreds of millions of those connections. In real time, you triangulate all of this data, and what you do, you will create a digital twin, not only of the neighborhood, of the city, but the whole country. And what you're going to do with this? Drone detection is an example. You detect everything that moves and flies. You manage the entire low altitude aerial economy. You're going to detect on every road, every car, every bicycle, every truck, every pedestrian. You can actually identify those objects and annotate on that image. you bring this whole conversation we just had about computer and visual intelligence as an example into a large digital twin. And that is going to change everything. And what's the connection with this conversation we have of agentic AI? This is all real-time context for agents that is going to be running on the endpoints across all of those devices. This an exciting, I think, future for everything that is happening on the edge, because AI is the new form of computing and is going to be how computers are going to run everywhere. So now I'm going to get to the last part of my presentation. And this is the second part of what I said it was my objective today, to explain to all of you how the devices at the edge is going to change with AI. The second part is trying to get a very, very simple understanding of how cloud and edge are going to work together. It's now very obvious, but I want you to get the same conclusion that we got how this word is going to evolve. So agents are now how demand for tokens is created, and it's how AI is going to get a scale, and it's defining both the architecture and the economics of AI. So let's go back and recap. Today, most of the software, the OS, the App Store, they have been designed for a human to operate. So we operate and we do things. We start an app or a program or go to the web. We do different things. It's been designed for us. Now, with agents, everything changes. The agents are autonomous. They interact with software much faster. They do it across multiple services at once. That's why the device is going to have to be upgraded. And every workflow generates tokens at machine speed, not human speed. Just as an example, when you think about an application or even the SaaS industry, you think about software for the SaaS industry. Those clients, to date, they're being designed for a human to operate the client. Not anymore. You have to design your application and your SaaS for a human and an agent to interact. And the agents are going to interact faster. That is going to fundamentally change the demand for tokens. So as an example, you can see those transitions, right? How quickly token consumption is growing. So a lot of different estimates, but it currently looks like this. So level 1, when we started conversational, you go in and a single turn, you prompt, you get a response. That's about, you can talk about 10,000 tokens on a single turn prompt response for level 1 conversational. Level 2, reasoning. Then you now have multi-turn, and you can see an order of magnitude increase, about 100,000 tokens per task. And then when you think about level 3, agentic AI, autonomous, multi-step, multiple toll calls, it's about 1 million tokens per task and is growing. You see the order of magnitude increase. That's about 100x increase in the number of tokens in 2 generations. Now, let me give you the same data, different perspective. So this year, 2026, it's estimated that the global token demand within 10 seconds is about 31.7 billion tokens. So the projection for 2030, for the same 10 seconds, is 1.27 trillion tokens. It's a 40x increase. And that's because agents are going to generate a lot of tokens. So if you think about the latest estimate, and I'm sure that's going to change, but the latest estimate for total token demand globally in 2030 is in the quintillions. I don't even know how to say the number. I'll say it's a 4 gazillion tokens, the token demand for 2030. And that is the new currency of AI. Tokens are the currency of AI. And let me now share you how this is going to work. And there's going to be a lot of people that's going to argue. There's no need to argue. This is exactly how it's going to work. We have seen this before. Resistance is futile, okay? So let me give you some example how this is going to work. So let's talk about coding. Coding workloads are some of the most token intensive tasks today. You're seeing a real session running Claude Code. An orchestrator is now intelligently routing the workload, keeping certain tasks on the compute available on the device and sending what's necessary to the cloud. When you apply the distributed agentic AI, making use of all the compute across this compute continuum, you can see you save about 1.4 million tokens, 60% lower cost for the same result. Now that's coding. Let me give you a completely different example. So the next demo I'm going to show you is a task. Create a Snapdragon web page. There's a lot of specifications on the prompt about this web page needs to be created. On the left, you can see that it runs on the cloud and generates tokens in the cloud. On the right is the same result, but you have intelligent distributed. Intelligent orchestrator defines this routing of the task about the compute that is available on the device and the compute that is available on the cloud. Result is you get exactly the same result, 30% fewer tokens, 4x lower cost. And that is the power of distributed AI. And this is how this is going to play out. I like to provide this example. It's interesting because we've been seeing this conversation about cloud and edge, and they're both incredibly important. And now you started to see how this is actually going to play out. It's not an abstract thing. It's actually that the conversation is never about this thing that runs on the cloud can also run on the edge. No. What needs to run on the cloud is going to run on the cloud. What needs to run on the edge is going to run on the edge. It's different. I like to do this analogy. It's not perfect, but it's good for us to understand it. I'm sure each and every one of you here has probably over 200 apps organized in folders in your smartphone. And if I ask anybody to go to the exercise of say, for each app, what runs on the computer on your smartphone, what runs on the computer on the cloud, it's an exercise in futility. And you know the importance of the cloud because if you put your phone in airplane mode, it's useless, but you need a lot of computing. And this is how it's going to work. AI, agentic AI, is agents running the computer for you. And as the workloads started to shift, the things that you do yourself and the thing that the agent's going to do is going to make use of all the computing is available, and it's going to go exactly how it works today. The computing is going to be utilized. Everything will be running AI, and it's going to happen across the compute continuum. And I think that's the exciting part for Qualcomm, because that's going to create demand for AI computing everywhere. And every computing engine becomes interesting and necessary for this agentic future. And you're going to naturally process the workloads where it's more efficient. And that is the opportunity, because we're uniquely positioned across all of those different devices. And it's never one size fits all. You need to have the right platform for AI for every device. As we talk about it, they are different. They have different purpose. It's about maximum intelligence and maximum efficiency everywhere. So as I get to the end of the presentation, I have one last thing that I want to tell you. So let's watch the video. So today at COMPUTEX, we're announcing the new product brand for Qualcomm data center products. We're already working with hyperscalers and global partners on real-world deployments. We're incredibly excited about this new chapter of the Qualcomm diversification. And now, with Dragonfly, our portfolio spans every single tier of the compute continuum, from the smallest wearables that will connect to agents to data centers at a very high performance. We'll have a lot to share on our Investor Day in just a few weeks, June 24. I wish I can tell you all about our roadmap, but that is coming. And in summary, I'm just going to tell you we're incredibly excited about the future of technology. Across every single device, this is going to get transformed. We show the agents are not coming into the future. They're already here. It's changing a lot of the compute. It's going to generate a lot of demand for new classes of devices and computing. And this upgrade cycle can be one of the largest that the industry has seen. And together we're building the products and the technology that will define this new era. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Like I said, it's a pleasure and an honor to be here. Hopefully this was helpful for you. And I can't wait to build this future together with our partners across the globe and our partners in Taiwan. Thank you very much. Enjoy COMPUTEX.